This broadcast of As the Wasteland Burns was brought to you by Galaxy News Radio and our sponsors at Vault-Tec. Better living underground.
Butt plugs.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of As the Wasteland Burns. When last we had left our group, they had managed to free the bulk of the men that were separated from the women, that were both from Mew 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 and from what they're learning from other communities surrounding area. They had managed to stop the crazies from, and if you could see me, I'm air quote, converting more followers to whatever their cause is. Sally Sue had taken a bit of damage. She still is not fully up to snuff. Got a little bit of a split on her leg from the blow that she took from the power maul that the crazies had hit her with during the final moments of the fight. And the group had made a decision to go, or sorry, west, I'm sorry, my bad, looking at the map the wrong way. Going west to try to find the annex so they could drop off everybody that's here and get the girls back to at least, that knew them. Sam, you marked off, do you know how much or just what you had written down for what you considered to be food that was on its way out? You had left them with
you keep flipping how much food we have, so I'm not even sure I trust what I have. But I think we agreed that it's down to 16 days.
Yes.
I have no clue what 16 days of what. All I know it's nothing will give us 2 radiation.
Right. So the food that you guys had was the food I was tracking for the random effects that it might have. So that was the food that you had purchased from the butcher at the before leaving. It was before him being escorted out of Oakallville. So anything else that you guys had written down, we'll consider that to be what you gave them. So you have as much water as you need. That the water is not an issue. You managed to, fill up, and as you've even you had said about finding containers that you could load additional stuff into. And so you have that, and you are good to go that way. Have the 16 days of food. Again, the ones are gone, so there's no more radiation coming from it at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I'll do a better job of making sure that we all stay on the same page.
Yeah, because I had close to I had over 40 days of food at one point, and you kept adding to it, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like you added to it on your own notes. It felt like I was the only one who was actually adding and keeping track of it, and we got so far off that it felt like you were about to tell us we were about to starve, where I would have proof that no, we weren't.
Okay.
That's kind of how it felt at some points.
No, you could be right, and some things I'm allowing the group to keep track of. Some things I have to, keep track with the group. So, like I said, with the effects and so forth. So, like going forward, we'll make sure we get it back on the same page, and we can go from there.
All I know is that we have 26 days of Brahmin food. Is that correct, or is that incorrect?
That is correct.
Okay, and with the rainy season starting, I don't foresee us having to use that since the Brahmin are going to be eating whatever is on the ground.
Yeah, unless you hit a heavy area of a patch where, and Long describe it, where there's sparse and nothing, that might be the only time. There may be a couple days of that as you're traveling, that way. But as long as you stick to certain areas or you meander over to the green, the green meadows, so to speak. Yeah. Like for example, if you're looking at if everyone's looking at the macro map right now, you guys are fine until you go off into the unexplored territory. You like on the
which is where we're going.
Which is where you're going. Yeah. but like off of that. But at least for the next day or two, you won't have to worry about food for
we
any of the.
know that we're heading in this general area.
Yep, you're heading west.
Yeah.
And literally due west. So, okay. Are you leaving the firearms that you gave the women with them?
I mean, kind of have to if we're leaving them behind for now because they need something to defend themselves.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So that's all. That's the only reason why I was asking.
I drink a beer to get 2 more hit points.
Sure.
Thanks.
Starts more. Nothing says a little hair of the dog in the morning to get you going.
Yep.
Remember to add one to your cat pile.
So thank you. Replace the fuel canister on your flamer. While you feed a fresh cartridge into your sniper, your las rifle, and unless the group has anything else they want to do, get the show on the road. Pretty good.
Yep.
We are.
Okay. So, Miss Gray, make me 3 survival perception rolls. Your Pathfinder.
Yep.
Ability to see. Okay. So, weather is nice. You have little to no problem traveling right now. Sunny days, cool breeze. In some cases, you go to bed where there's little to no green around you to wake up to find that the entire area is carpeted in, either some of the wasteland daisies, the white and black flowers, or in grass, and where the Brahmin are munching. Travel is relatively going. Third day out, you're off the map. I'll switch the map over in a minute. Where you see, well, it's an odd sight. You can see 12 individuals. Right hand is on the person in front of them, their shoulder. Looks like the person that's leading the group has some sort of, looks like a wheel or oak in their hand. 1 or 2 of them have like some strange conical hats on, and it's they're moving in unison, so it's kind of like left leg forward, right leg forward, turn their head to the left, left leg forward, right leg forward, turn their head to the left, and they're going north to south in a straight path.
I think we found a car.
There's no vehicle with them. They're all on foot. So,
I do think that they are pretending that they are a car.
oh, okay. Like,
have you ever heard the story of the guy who ran into a raider hideout, threw an imaginary grenade, and then made a bunch of motorcycle noises and got out of there?
No, I've never heard that story.
Nope.
Negative.
The things you hear when you listen to the raiders talking when they can't see you.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's what it sounds like.
Okay. So, I don't need. So, unless you choose to intervene, they just continue on their way.
I don't think we have any reason to intervene. Does anybody want to stop them? Other than Snake?
Yeah, I can't really say I have any desire to stop crazy people that are pretending to be a car, apparently.
That's my best guess.
But
Okay.
that's crazy guessing crazy. So
for driving.
I mean, I would assume that Snake would want their car. Snake knows what a car is.
And how to drive it.
You're never driving the battle bus.
Or say never.
Oh Lord, we're gonna need another battle bus.
Battle Bus 2. This time it's personal. So you pass on that. You pass on that. You allow them to. I guess would be the better way. You are continuing to travel. It is now. So we're going to make. So we have Sally Sue, who's still wounded. I need Ray. I need you to make me 7 rolls. Roll me 7 6-siders.
Me?
Yes, please. You can roll 76. You can do them all at once if you like.
How do I do this? I don't understand.
So on your left hand side of your screen, there should be an icon that looks like a die. It's the
yeah.
last icon on the roll. Yep, there you go. Yep. We'll work with that. In there. Okay. So re-roll me a single 6-sider. That's to make up for the 1. There we go. Okay. So, Sally Sue, you are completely healed,
Ooh.
including your wound.
Yay.
So,
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
so you guys are into number. You guys have those wrote down. Okay. Right now, you're on day 7, and everybody can gain a free action, a free minor action, because you're on the reduce action points by 1. So down to a 0. So you get so everybody has a free minor action that they can do. And move, shoot, or aim, move, aim, shoot, that type of deal, or triple move, and a second attack only costs you 1 action point for whatever happens in the current scene.
Nice.
So your wounds are feeling. Everybody should be at full hit points if they're not already. Radiation damage should be healed. Checking the Geiger counter, you get the normal background radiation. The area that you're traveling through, you can see rusted vehicles, but they're like larger than normal, oversized tires. Some with looks like they had heavy metal blades on the front that have long since destroyed. Most of them are robotic or were robotic. Between man and nature, they've been stripped of anything useful. I am going to temporarily destroy the map. So one move the dot over.
It's the end of the world as we know it, but Snake feels fine.
I think we've reached the edge.
Yeah, the world is flat. How about that?
Woohoo, Addyville.
Check to see if it was hollow.
That dot's probably going to be
Oh, the
on
dot's
layer
going to
be-
move.
Oh
Don't worry.
no, the dot's on the layer below the new map. Meaning, if I take it and I move it, it's going to be underneath the new map section.
Ah, darn it.
So yeah,
I don't know. Try it. Does it go
is.
underneath?
It's
Oh,
underneath. Yeah. Sorry about that, folks.
yep,
That's plate tectonics.
yeah, subduction, right?
That should be there. So let's move it over now. Okay, you'll got. I'll have to create a new dot.
You've got a white column at the edge of the map.
Yep, I have to fix it. So
I think it was
There we
fine the
go.
way it was before. Oh wait, no, I see some issues.
yeah, I can see where it's cut off down below. Okay, I'll have to
Yeah.
recreate the other half of the map, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So we got the barn. Yeah, if you guys, let's see, let's create a
Ellipse.
freehand.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, let's see if I can drag it over. There we go. Thank you, sir. you're traveling, and you find yourself, based upon a battered sign that you've come across, half buried in the ash and sand and debris and such, and you find yourself on country highway 6. You're traveling pretty much. You've been following this road once you found it. Just travel a flat area, and you can see building in the distance, isolated, but it's the only thing that's here that's around. Now, short of the foreshadowing where it says food store on the map, do you wish to approach?
Okay. I see no reason
Yeah.
not to.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Why did you say that? Why did
All
you
depends
say
on
that?
who. All depends on who's the food. That's all that really matters. So as you approach, and you're walking along the road, you can see a massive sign, not quite billboard size, but along that lines. FUD sold cheap. So it's FUD sold cheap. It's like the sound that the little, like a little chick would make, cheap cheap. CHEEP. You can see you can see that the area that you're approaching, and I'm going to actually switch at that point. Page. There is. You can see there's a large pen area in the back. Actually, it's more like a cage, covering the
the
top
back?
bottom.
Is this side the back, or is this side the back?
I will get you guys on the map in a minute.
Okay, I'm just asking because we can see it.
I know. It dropped on the wrong section, so I'm going to drag you over to. There you go.
Ah, okay, now I see.
There you go.
I had zoomed in like 250% to be able to see it.
Nah, sorry.
Whoa.
You guys are on the road. You can see there's a Nuka-Cola soda machine out front.
I wonder if it has any Nuka-Cola in it.
No, the unit has no power. You can see all the windows are open. Some light tarps kind of are blowing in the breeze. This. Another in green. Let's go black. Really, you're not going to let me draw a straight line. Okay, freehand. There's your sign.
It says FUD.
It says FUD. FUD sold cheap.
Okay. I want to get me some FUD.
Okay. And heavy wooden door, still intact, but reinforced in spots. The area surrounding it is relatively cleaned and well maintained. Guys approach. Else?
Yep, what could go wrong?
You can see a spot out there where you can actually tie your Brahmin up. There is a small pile closer to the behind the sign where it looks like somebody's been stacking up the chips. But you don't have to worry about bringing Milk Dud and Good and Plenty in if you approaching. You open up the door. You hear a chime of a bell, a clang clang, as you step inside. You can see most of the place. It's divided and looks like 3 spots. There's a spot where people can sit down and eat. Some tables. There are large, like the the freezers that you would see at, or refrigeration units that you would see at, like, supermarket, where you would bend over to look inside. You can see that there's several of those scattered about. Bookshelves or shelves with various items on there, and there's a countertop. A bored kid standing behind it kind of looks up, and it's like, if you're hungry, you can take a seat. I'll be over in a minute. If you're, and I'm assuming everybody has stepped in at this point in time. You guys are looking around, or
Yep.
describe what you guys are doing, so I don't make assumptions right now.
Are there any other signs or anything near the door? Other than the FUD sold cheap?
Other than the FUD sold cheap? Nope. It looks like there was a sign hanging above the door, maybe identifying what the place of business was, but that's, twisted and highly illegible at this point in time.
Got it. So, yeah, I've gone in at this point, and, yeah, followed Snake in.
I'm meandering
Inside or outside?
on my way inside.
Haven't got there yet? Okay. And Miss Gray, how about you?
So I'm kind of hanging back with Sally Sue. I'm looking at the building, trying to observe, like, if it's being kept in good shape, if it looks like there's been a lot of people in and out, or if everything's just covered in 3 inches of dust.
No, it's actually appears to be in good shape. Obviously, like anything else in this world, it's as well maintained as it possibly can be.
Impressive.
There are spots where it looks like they've made an attempt to patch over bullet holes. There are any of the windows are the few windows that are sealed have pieces of sheet metal and the like over them. The few windows that are open either have bars on them, or when you actually look at the windowsill, see that there's a layer of glass embedded into the windowsill. So anybody trying
Place
to
is
climb
fancy.
in, it looks like it's been as well kept as it possibly can.
Hmm.
Yes, there's signs of disrepair. Nothing is brand new. There's a pair of chairs sitting out there. One looks like belonged to like a 1970s linoleum kitchen. So it's like black and white checker pattern that the seat's been split and duct taped over several times. The other one is a cobbled together. Don't try to sit in it because you're going to fall over because the legs aren't the same length. Wooden type of chair.
That's the one I should sit in.
Okay, there you go. Because your
Very
legs aren't the same.
suspicious.
So the kid looks up at as you guys are entering in, and see the kid just staring at Snake.
That's because I want to go and look for the fridge. Like a walk-in fridge.
There are several there that do have doors that open, so you could step in, but not too far. It's not like the freezer that you entered in when you went to eat at Joe's.
Uh-huh.
And so for Sam and Saval, you can just see the kid just staring at Snake.
I'll try it anyway.
Okay. So you open the door, you step in. Nothing happens. You're in a small area. You can see there's a couple. There's some canned goods there on the shelf that's inside.
I just want to note that at this point, I'm also staring at Snake.
Is it the same lust-filled stare?
No, we're all just kind of wondering what the fuck is he thinking he's doing.
Yeah, you look at the cans. You can't read what it says, but you do know that there's something on the cans.
Tap around on the. Yeah, I tap around on the floor with the butt of.
You cut out.
You cut out.
Oh, I tap around on the floor with the butt of Chunky Boy.
Okay. So you're tapping, and the metal shrinks and crumbles a little bit just from the tap, but nothing. There's no obvious entrance into an underground lair.
Do I
from
need
here.
to roll to understand what he's doing, or can I just say, Snake, this isn't Joe's?
No, I think you. Yeah, I think yes. I think
Uh,
you understand what he's trying to do. But it's kind of obvious to anybody that he's expecting to pop into an elevator and descend into the nether regions of the building.
Snake, this isn't that kind of restaurant.
Is the fridge door closed?
No,
Oh.
it can't close with you in it.
Oh, okay. All right. So unfortunately, I have to hear
Yeah,
hear him.
Yep, and the radio's been repaired, so yeah, you unfortunately, unless you wish to turn it off, you do hear him.
Well, I generally just ignore him. I finish checking the floor, and then if that doesn't yield anything, I'm gonna check the ceiling too.
You turn around, standing right, as you step out of the refrigerator, or the freezer unit. The kid's standing there, and the kid's staring at. Is that Grognak's battle axe that you have on your back? Is that a real Grognax? It's like a flaming axe, like you saw on issue 52. Is that the real one?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. You know Grognak? Like
Oh,
nobody knows
oh,
Grognak.
do I know Grognak? Oh my god! And it's that prepubescent, squeaky voice. Oh yeah, I know Grognak. Kind of. I'm not going to do that because then I'll be talking like that all night. So, yeah, you know Grognak? Oh, wait. See, he used it. They thought it was in issue 42 where he first came across it, but it wasn't until 52 that he actually used it to kill the blue wizards. And he's like, wait, I'll be right back. He goes running off.
Oh,
You hear?
Well,
No, he's already gone.
yeah, while he's doing that, I'm gonna rummage around in my pack. I've got in the bosom of the Corsair Queen in my pack still.
Okay. So, and you can see the kid comes back out, and it looks almost like kid's hauling a medieval tome. The thing's probably about like a good 7 inches thick. It's got like leather bindings on it, and it looks like a massive scrapbook. And the kid goes over and pushes some canned goods out of the way and everything like that. It's like, see, and he starts flipping through, and it's the most organized, discombobulated version of Grognak you've ever seen. There's not a complete comic book in the entire thing, but there's enough pages put together that you can follow the story based upon, paging through, and it looks like, dozens upon dozens of issues, in some way, shape, or form, scattered across the entire book. Like, yeah, see, and he flips it. Kid flips it open, looking, is like, here, and then see there. Can I touch it?
That's what she said.
Phrasing.
I think he's too young for that.
I'll show him the one that I've got and see if he's seen it before.
Like,
Is kid okay?
kid needs about 2 minutes and a cigarette. And he's,
I'll pull out a cigarette then too.
okay. And you hear a woman's voice coming from back, like, "Be out there in a minute, people. I'm almost done making fresh food." It's like, and you see a short, heavy-set woman come out from behind, through the double doors, and she looks at everybody, and she looks at the kid and looks at you, and she looks over at the two of you. And again, everybody's in full headgear except for Snake at this point in time, so we can talk to the kid.
I've taken my helmet off and I put it on the table next to me. I've just got a piece of wood out and a small
your whittling
knife.
stick.
Yeah, no.
You've got wood
I'm
out?
carving a small version of C2.
They've all got their sticks out. Got it.
Oi.
All the men. Sally Sue and I turn around and go outside. The boys are going to need a minute.
You can see the woman. She kind of, she looks at you and she looks, Miss Gray, she looks at you and Sally Sue, and she's kind of like,
I wave.
not frightened. She kind of waves at you, but she's watching the exchange between the kid and Snake, and the kid's like,
Um,
I got wait, flipping through, and he puts the comic down. He's like, wait a minute. Mine isn't flaming. I got an axe just like that. I'll be right back. And the mother tries to stop the kid. Steph, have you gotten everything done? The chores can wait. No, the chores got to get them done. And we can sit down and feed these people. Can take a look and see. And the kid's like, wait, I'll be right back. It was zipping off into the back room. Again, you hear the clattering of things falling. And she's nervously looking at the group, the mother. And
I'm going to start talking to her. I'll start talking to the mom. I'll ask, how long they've been here. Have they seen a lot of folks coming through recently? Just that kind of stuff, trying to distract the mom, because we know that there's no distracting this Snake fanboy moment, which is fine.
Okay. She's like, well, some of the merchants have come through. There haven't been as many. I don't have much in the way of caps to trade, but please take a look around. There's various things here. Apparently, most of the traders either come through Germantown or Oakhallville, and from what I understand from the last group that came through, Oakhallville is experiencing some sort of cap shortage. So they haven't been able, so
That's
whatever I have
lovely.
to trade, I'll have, it would be, need food, I can sell you the food, but, or I can buy stuff from you that I need, but we would have to trade items or gear, material, that type of stuff. So some of the caravans haven't even made it here yet, but then again, it's still early in the season, so, and you hear this screech and you see the kid come running back in. See, this is, Mom got this for me. She sent away for it. We clipped and flipping through the book, and it's like, see, we cut out all the little coupons, and we got a merchant that came through, and he said he would take care of it for us, and we gave him some caps and some of the old world money, and he went off, and it is holding a carved stick, a broom handle that's been wrapped in leather, some sort of painting on there, and the head itself is a carved, a stylized wooden axe head. Looks exactly like the axe, pretty close, replica of it. But the only thing it would hurt is, maybe, the person who, the kid, if they whacked himself in the face with it. But the kid is standing there, got the axe, Grognak pose. I've been practicing with it too. I can't, I'm not strong like Grognak is, but I'm working on it. I'm practicing every day. Follow through with what it says in the book. I see his different moves, and then it goes back to staring at you, Snake.
And I say, well, here, let me show you this one. And so I pull out another Grognak magazine, Demon Slaves, Demon Sands, and I show him where the axe is in it.
You have all the pages. And again, kid needs a cigarette and a moment alone. And he goes to touch it, the comic book that is, and he's no, I gotta get my chores done. Mom will be mad. Looking at you, looking at holding the axe, and you can see the kid, lay the axe across their shoulder and bring in their step. They head behind. They head behind the counter, and you can hear the closing of a door in the back. And you can see the mother, bit of a, and she turns to you since you're talking to her, and she's like, "Thank you. My husband passing and losing my boy to Hog. That is all I have left." gets it in their gets it in their head to go out and wants to fight, right the wrongs of the world, in those comic books.
Yeah, well, they're good comics. Actually, I wouldn't mind finding more myself if you know where to find more.
What was that about Cog?
My son, he was old enough to. Well, they considered him to be old enough to fight.
Like what?
Against the invaders from the south. Wasn't able to tell me much, just that there was a menace that had risen up from remnants of the old world, and Cog was trying to contain them, in addition to contain what was coming from St. Louis. They needed more able-bodied men and women to fight for them. They've made him an offer, and he got some money, some items, and stuff for me here. And about 3 months later, one of the soldiers stopped by, informed me that my son was killed. Gave me a box with some food, his personal effects, and some caps, and patted me on the shoulder and left. It's been the two of us since then. But enough about me. Please come in, sit down. The bread is fresh. Well, at least from yesterday. As long as you don't mind radroach stew, I got plenty of that. And she points to several tables spots. You can see that there are canned goods, black writing on there. One says, meat grubbins. One says radroach grubbins. One says Mutafood. And she says, for every 10 cans, if you have 10 empty cans, a can for free.
Do we have any empty cans?
If you, whatever junk that Sally Sue has written down, if you take that, divide that by a third, that could be any form of container that you guys could trade. So after that, it's trading items or caps for food. Got quite a bit, which seems a little strange, or a little odd, I would say.
The fact that he's got so much food, or the fact that
he has canned food. That's canned. It looks like it's everything that's written on it wouldn't have been something from the old world, unless the old world was eating radroach and
these are freshly freshly sealed cans.
Correct. And yes, you can see that the top is on. You would have to take a can opener or a screwdriver and a hammer and punch a hole through there and open it up at that point, peel it. What I was laughing about, Chad, is the Sally Sue says knocks on Sam's wood carving. So I was like, maybe you should train the kids, Sam. Sam says, lost cause. Snakes replies back, yeah, I seen how effective Sam's training is.
Yeah.
So, looking around, there are no weapons that you can see. There's no body armor either. Sally Sue, make me a luck barter roll. Miss Gray, you do find a small container, like a cigar box. It says ammo written on it. Flipping it open, you can look inside. Various odds and ends rolling around, but you do find 5 10mm rounds.
Anything else in there?
A couple 308s, couple 5.56s, a couple 38 rounds. You picking up one of the 5.56s. There's a crack going down the case itself. Anybody fires that, it's guaranteed it's going to kill them. Or sorry, it'll make the weapon explode.
Not great.
Do you want them, Sam?
I'll take the 308 if it's in decent condition.
You look at it, yeah, it appears to be.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give that to him. I'll keep the 10 millimeter for me.
You said what, 3 rounds, and how much for it?
So she comes back out and she's putting some bread and stuff on the table, and she sees you guys. Yeah, the last merchant group kind of cleared me out. So whatever you see there, unfortunately, is all I have left for ammunition. But that she's like, well, tell you what, why don't you leave it here on the counter, and then anything else that you see that you might want, you can toss it up there with that, and we'll settle up when you guys are after you eat and ready to go. How's that sound?
So we'll put the ammo that we're taking on the counter, and I mean, how much food? How many cans would it take to equal a single day of food, and how many days are we willing to purchase?
For a single person, and these are like pork and beans size cans. Progressive soup, Campbell's soup. For modern. So they're a decent size. You figure maybe 2 cans per person per day.
So we would need a total of 10 cans. So every 10 cans would add another day to our rations.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe if we went for, say, 40 cans? Ugh.
4 days?
Yeah. 4 days worth of food, or do we want to go for a bit more? Because we still don't know how far away the facility we're going to is.
Yeah, but we could make sure we come back this direction.
Fair.
And stop here again.
And there's always the chance that we'll be able to get more food there since we're bringing people back to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, he's looking at you. You guys are stacking the cans and everything off, and Sally Sue, did you take a look with what you had in the? It would be listed as junk, so it wouldn't be crafting materials. This would be junk that you would get rid of that normally isn't worth much of anything that she's willing to trade for you for cans.
I only have a note in here saying I have 10 junk.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I wasn't sure what you had or how much you had. So
We wouldn't be able to find any in the crafting materials.
Crafting materials wouldn't be cans and such. It would be like wires and screws and bolts and
Things
so
that
forth.
we've already broken down. Got it.
Okay, so let's assume that we take those 20 pieces of junk that you have. Let's convert those over to 2 cans. So you can mark those off. You have 2 cans of food, which is towards your thing. She thanks you. She starts putting everything down. So rad roach and the grilled rad roach and your the water appears to be clean. You run the Geiger counter over it. Doesn't have any beeping or buzzing or anything coming to it. That'll be 8 caps per person for the meal. Bread is included. And starts tallying up what you're doing. You put the 40 cans over. She gives you the 2 cans in exchange, and she's cans of food. Like,
How many cans of food would we like?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I thought we just figured that out.
40 days of food, yeah. Or 40 cans of 40.
Cans for 40. Yeah, 40
4
cans
days
for
worth
4
of food.
days.
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a lot. Write a note. Be heading out somewhere deep. Blah, 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 blah. She's like, okay, yeah, we can do that. So a break. Making Steph happy. And like not including the ammo. Much of that left. So include, let's see. So we'll say 200 caps, or if you have, she's like, if you have these items, it would really help. Goes back, she comes back with a clipboard, and there's a itemized sheet there of parts and listed of parts. If you have any of this stuff on your, if you come across anything, that would really help.
Is there anything that we currently have?
You look at what's there and make me an intelligence reroll.
Intelligence what roll?
That hold on. I believe I said repair.
Intelligence repair. Repair is attack skill, right? Repair is attack skill, yes.
Okay, so you're looking at the stuff that there. It looks like it's machine parts. Not sure what for, but the bulk of it's machine parts. You figure you can probably cross off half the stuff that she's asking for. Mixture of rare, uncommon, and common crafting materials. So you would have to go through, take the list, go through the Pack Brahmin, figure out what you need, then go from there.
Yeah, I can do that.
So you're looking, and she's like, "Oh, that'd be great. That way I can keep canning stuff and so forth." I think you're like 2 bites into eating your soup or eating your stew, and you can see Steph is literally attached to your hip, looking, peeling through the comic that you have. I wash my hands. My hands are clean. That way I don't get them sticky. Anything on there, or dirty up the comics, but she can't.
I say, how did you put together the one that you've got?
Well, I've been collecting them. So some I found in an old van. There was all kinds of letters and magazines, dead body of a dog. Dead body of a person, dead body of a dog.
Good grief.
Fancy guy had a fancy blue hat. I started going through all that. Mom helped my letters, and I went through, found some holotapes. Whoever had this, looks like they had ordered the entire limited edition collection of Grognak.
Oh.
There was a fire or something happened in the van. Everything got damaged. So at a time, put them up on the clothesline out back, and I let the wind dry them. Then the wind started tearing them, so I quickly took them down. I brought them in the house, brought them inside, and I hung them up in my room. Got them all laid out, and then I realized they weren't in any order. I had, Steph kind of stared at their shoes and hadn't really paid attention but then I did, and I started putting them all. I made this. I hold up the book. The book looks like it could stop when the Hecate's around. I mean, it's got like a heavy metal, flat panel on one side, and it's got a picture of Grognak. That's an extra cover I had, so I made the extra cover for the cover, so I knew what it was about. I went through, and I started going along, and I was like, "Oh, you could send away." Flips through, and there's a page where it's like, looks like there was a coupon or something cut out. It's like, see, this is where we got the thing for the axe. Flips through, and there's another one. See, this is where we could get the sword that the wizard had. Flips through again, and this is where we could get, the princess's daggers, and it was like a pair of wavy line daggers. This is what I'm saving up for now. Get the daggers because they're small like me. But, at least I could use those. You can see the mom just standing there. She's just holding onto the tray, and she's all pensive and nervous as you guys are talking about this. She puts the stuff down.
Is there
I'm sorry.
is there any innate value in this, or is it more just junk at this point?
You would have to page through everything.
You're not going to steal the kids' comics, are you?
And you could probably put together enough for one book. Is there a particular book you're looking for? Let me find. I mean, all the books. There are books of all different. There's tons of issues there. You said Demon Slaves, Demon Sands, and you had the.
Yeah, I have Demon Slaves, Demon Sands, and In the Bosom of the Corsair Queen are the two that I have.
You could probably put together either Lost in the Snows of Lust, or what sorcery is this?
Man, really tempting. So
it wouldn't be a permanent thing. It would just be unfortunately, it would be. You would need to actually steal the kids' comic books. But you would have access to it for. And you know what? I'll go even one step further. I'll say you could have both of them access as a one shot. As a one shot deal.
But I wouldn't be able to do a perk with it.
You wouldn't be able to do a perk with it now.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna do anything with that then.
Okay.
It's tempting, but yeah,
Okay.
I'll pass. All right. So I'll just kind of entertain kid, I guess, for a while and look
Okay.
at what's there.
Okay. And again, some of the stuff is you find pages for your comic that's in there too. Some of them are well maintained. Some of them are you sneeze on it the wrong way and it's just going to explode into a pile of confetti. Settling up after you guys get done having your meal and everything like that. For it, Sam, you're able to provide 1 rare, 3 uncommon, common crafting material to her list. Three.
3 uncommon, you said?
3 uncommon, yes.
And how many common?
3.
Okay.
Among the odds and ends that you come across as you're looking at the various canned goods and stuff, there is some blood leaf, there is some glowing fungus, some hub flower, some mutafruit. Not a lot of mutafruit.
We don't need any hub flower.
I'm just saying it's there. Find a large backpack that seems to be in pretty good shape.
Anybody want a backpack?
No, it's empty. You find a single dose of buff out also among all that. Sally Sue, you find sitting on a shelf, pushed back. It looked like it was just forgotten. But you find a single stim pack, looks like it's diluted, and a single Radix,
Oh.
also diluted.
And better than nothing.
She thanks you for the crafting materials and half the cans of what you guys were looking for. She gives to you in exchange for the materials. Looking through, working with Sally Sue, looking through some of the stuff. Yeah, she doesn't need crafting materials. You gave her the junk. Building anything. Do you guys have any armor, body armor that you're looking to get rid of?
Ah. I have a welder's visor, and I have some battered road leathers.
Yeah, I have some too that I could get rid of.
Yes, I also have some military fatigues, a technician's jumpsuit.
She'll take the road leathers, the military. She'll take the regular clothing.
Okay, she'll take.
And she'll take that in exchange for the remaining food and the ammunition that you guys were looking at.
Hold on, I think we might have some armor still. There's a heavy duster.
Okay. She'll give you an additional 6 cans of food for that. Okay, sorry, you need 10. She'll give you an additional 10 cans of food.
Additional 10. So another day of food.
Another day of food for you guys. Yep. For the duster, if you want the stim pack and the Radex, that will be cost. That is
I have
diluted stim. Go ahead.
I have the legs and torso of heavy combat armor.
Would Sally Sue need that to replace her leg that she took damage to? I don't know what
Probably.
armor she has
Yes,
right now.
the Sally Sue want combat armor because that would actually probably be an upgrade for you.
For the right leg.
Well, I don't know what
Just
you have
like-
for armor right now, so.
Because
I
this
have
stuff is
dirty combat
440.
armor right now. What is it?
This stuff is 440.
If that's better than what you have, you can trade your stuff in. That
It's better for my right leg.
okay.
That's about it.
Okay, so then we have one heavy combat armor leg and one heavy combat armor chest piece.
She'll trade you the leg. Chest piece. Now she'll trade you just the leg, or the if you want the stim pack, the Radex, and the buff out, and she'll throw the backpack in too.
Yes, please.
Okay. I know what the backpack. I don't remember what the backpack does, to be perfect.
It gives like an extra 5 times it's 5 times your strength in additional carry weight that you can carry. I think most of us already have backpack. Yeah, I have a backpack. And
This is a large.
others.
This is 10 times your strength for additional maximum carry weight.
Ooh. Sam does need more space for weapons.
No. If you wish, you can turn yours in, and as part of the deal, or hold on to it. That's up to you.
Unless somebody else wants a backpack that gives you 5 times your strength and carry weight.
No, you are my backpack, Sam.
Awesome.
Aw.
So I'm trading up. I'm upgrading my backpack then. I can carry a little bit more.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah, I've essentially been treating it as negative carry weight. So rather than increasing my max capacity, because we figured out that the game doesn't really like that,
Yeah.
it lowers the amount of weight I'm carrying. If that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, it does. Yeah, some things the system is forgiving with, and some things it isn't. Okay. So, the group is, Steph comes over to you, Snake, and said, "Hey, come on, let's go back and practice."
Okay.
And
If you I stopped Snake real quick and I whisper into his ear, if you kill the kid, we never met you. Understand?
him a killer?
If you kill the kid, we never met you. You are dead to us.
I just ignore Sam. And I'll go out.
He kind of, with the mother kind of watches this happen. A little bit of nervousness in her. And she's pouring, water for the rest of the group. Like, is Steph going to be okay with him?
Yeah, I'll tell her he's harmless.
Okay. And go ahead. Sorry.
Can I ask her sort of indirectly if she has heard anything about this sort of these coordinates that we're going to? I'm not going to tell her that we're headed towards coordinates, but just sort of generally ask her about what is west of here. Yeah.
Well, she's like, yeah, it's like, so if you're following along the road, just keep going straight. Again, stay on Country Highway 6. There is probably 4 or 5 days. There's the town of Vendy, and then there's also the town of Johannesburg. I don't know of any. Most of them are ruined. Very little buildings, very little things standing. In either one of those two spots. But I mean, what you're looking for may be there.
So you have town of Vendy.
Yeah, so she said Vendy is just follow the road outside. Just keep going straight. Can't miss it. It'll be directly north of you when you get there. Johannesburg is maybe a day's travel. That's directly south. You'll see it in the distance. So, if you're at Vendy, and you look to the south, you should see ruins in the distance. There's a water tower. That's probably the easiest way to identify Johannesburg. If you see a water tower in the distance to your south, you know where to go for that. That's your landmark. Vendy's small. Main Street, couple houses. I haven't been there in years. So there was a mine, not a quarry. Maybe a quarry where they dug the rocks out to use for building. Up in Vendy, off of Crane Road because of the cranes that are there. Maybe that's what you're looking for. How many people go there? I know there's a bit of a bad reputation, radiation, poison in the air, something like that.
Lovely.
But I haven't been that way since Earl died, so I don't know. The merchants just stay on the highway because that takes them directly to crosses over and heads up to Jew Lake. I didn't name it. That's what those people in Illinois call it. So, I know there's a merchant, guild, water merchants that work out of there. That's about it.
Mm.
You kind of, you're sure he's going to be all right with Or Steph's going to be all right.
Mm,
And you heard her. You heard her say he, and then she catches herself.
Hmm. I feel like Gray handled that question.
Sorry, she stutters on the pronoun
Yes.
because her son's not her son. Okay, I'll tell her that yes, he's harmless, but we probably need to head out, so I'll go back and get our companion.
You always leave him here. This place looks like it could use some muscle. Just saying.
Just those few gems that I mentioned. So yeah, it's mostly food, and like I described, she from what you're getting, she trades the food for whatever sundries and stuff that she needs. So she'll rip stuff as necessary. For the most part, it's just the area around that you're in seems to be compared to what you were traveling through, well stocked or sorry, naturally abundant. So
Which is nice for once.
yeah, it's not the same desert tan, bleach bone type of stuff that you've come across. So Snake, you're out back and kids showing you their moves. You're showing your moves. You can see that the this large area that's penned in over here. Oops, not dot in there, black dot. So the area that I'm pulsing is a large metal cage. You can see that there are radroaches just crawling on hanging from the top, crawling on the sides. You can see that there is a trough off the one side, and a pair of heavy mesh metal gloves and a pair of pincers.
Ask the kid what all this is about.
Well, there's we don't have a Brahmin herd, so Dad figured out it would be a way to raise the roaches. Some of the food that spills or can't be canned properly, we toss in there. The roaches eat. They make more roaches. He giggles at that. And then some of the roaches might eat other roaches, but we go along. We pick the ones out, the males over the females, and we pull them. Get the pincer. Get the gloves on. Get the pincers on. Yank them through. Here, I'll show you. He goes over, grabs puts the gloves on, grabs the heavy grabber, and and then flips open a section of the fence, sticks it in, moving around. It's got one. It's struggling for all it's worth, but pulls a rad roach through and drags it across. And there's a hook on the bottom of the grabber that gets it over and then latches it into the hook. And walks over, picks up a dirty hand axe. Like it might have been a fireman's axe that became a hand axe, and then lops the head off. Takes the heavy the mesh gloves off, puts it down, and then goes over and with a pair of tin snips cuts the shell open, and then starts pulling different belts. Some of the stuff goes back and goes into a it says sorry, you can't read. So some of it goes into one container. Looks like it's like the guts and the other things, and then the meat goes into a vat of it. Thinks like smells like almost like bucket of piss, and leaves the meat in there, and then takes the guts and stuff and pours it into another trough, and it drops down into the back into the pen, and the rat roaches go over and they start gobbling that up like it's not even, like there's no. Comes back, takes the thing out of the bucket, tosses it into another one with water, washes it off, and then goes over, and you can see there's several large metal drums sitting there, and fires are underneath them. Lifts them up, and smoke just pours, billows out, and takes a couple off and puts it on a tray or a large metal plate, and then throws that in there, and you hear it sizzle and pop, and she closes the lid. And it's like, see, she walks over and she's like, fry piece right off the grill.
Hmm.
I won't tell mom.
Okay, interesting. That's resourceful.
Yeah, and she gets a little solemn. It's like, yeah, Dad was smart. He knew he could do a lot of things.
Ask him, how, if it's just you and your mom, how do you guys not get attacked from people?
Kid stops and looks around and is like, well, we have been attacked. We take our lumps. Most raiders, if they hit us, they need something, be it food, be it medicine, be it whatever. We try to help them out. We try to do a little good for them, and yeah, we might take a lump or two, but for the most part, they leave us alone. The merchants come through. Occasionally, there's a cog patrol that'll stop by. I think my brother made some friends when he fought with them. Yeah, that's about it. We had some guys just like you, pointing at your armor and everything like that. And that chain's like, yeah, they came through a while back. It was a long while, maybe summers ago. Two grow seasons ago. They went along and they took care of helped fix up the pen. Mom was happy. She somebody to talk to. That's what she said when saw the man leave. Yeah.
All right. What do you intend to do when you grow up?
What do you do?
I kill assholes.
Sam's response in chat. ... Oh. I'd like to help people. No. But just like Grognak does. Makes the bad people pay. Assholes. He makes the assholes pay.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like that.
Teaching kids to curse now.
I'm sure she could probably make him blush. You might not understand what she's saying, but I'm sure Steph can, oh, I gotta get this inside so my mom can put it in the can, mix it with the other stuff for the rag grubbins. Okay. I gotta go.
All right. Thanks for showing me.
Comes back in. She got a tray of stuff. You can see another child's innocent slowly taken. He comes in. Okay, next one's done. We put some. I showed Snake, how we catch the roaches and put them on the grill. So kind of looks at you and and the mother goes okay. You guys have settled up. So between the gear that you traded her and the canned goods, you realize right now that economic downturn that the area is taken is more than likely caused by Sally Sue's aggressive marketing campaign in Oakhallville. So it's going to take a little bit of time before you see Cap. So you realize that whatever trade goods that you may have.
Sally Sue's the Doge of the wasteland.
Sally Sue's a bit like Mansa Musa. Everywhere she goes, the economy crashes. Only instead of leaving great wealth, she's taking it all with her.
So, yeah,
Someone's gonna do it.
there you go. You guys, so are you heading out now? This is maybe early evening? Or getting on to early evening by the time you've gone through, got here, gathered up your gear,
I
trained.
mean, we probably should try to head out.
Well, since you asked, I have I don't know what brand it is, but I have a T-shirt on because it was 80 some odd degrees here today. I was wearing flannel earlier because it was chilly. I went outside and it's like, oh my God, sweat just pouring off me. So I have my pair of Joe boxers on and my my gray and blue T-shirt. Glasses perched in the little pocket on the front. It is. Yeah. Crazy weather we got here. Crazy weather. And on top of that, it actually rained today.
It's
Yay.
raining right now in Connecticut.
Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about seeing the eclipse, and I ain't gonna be able to see shit right now, to be honest with you. So
Yeah.
okay. So you guys start to head out.
You're on mute.
Oh, before I leave, I'll leave the Rognak Demon Slaves, Demon Sands for the kid.
It comes over. If the kid was as strong as Baby Huey, would have picked you up and spun you around. It's like thank you. You feel the child, sobbing slightly against you. Sand in my eyes. But takes the comic, goes running into the back room. Walks over and the mother is like, "Thank you. I appreciate that."
I think he'll enjoy it more than I will.
Beth will, yes. Thank you. Well, if you come back this way, please stop in any time. You're always welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
And so hopefully I'll have some Mutafruit and Mutafruit canned and ready to go. The patches of green that are the odd color out here outside are various Mutafruit bushes, but they're too immature to pick. They more than likely kill you than give you indigestion or the run or the trots. You head out on the road. Not more than 15 minutes have passed when you watch CT head step on the Brahmin, where he's riding the little cubby hole he carved out from among the stuff, and damn, Sally Sue, you're walking with the Brahmin, you see Sue pop up around and go running over to Sam. And something, you hear something bumping, you feel something bump into your leg.
Eek.
What's going on? Oh, Sally Sue feels.
You look
something,
down,
something, or
C2 standing
me?
there. Yeah, he's standing next to you. He's looking. You see C2 looking at you, and you see he's looking back down the road.
Wait, back towards the food place.
Yes, or that's that general direction. Yes.
I look back.
You don't see anything. You can see a couple lights here and there. Porch lights, they're just burning outside. You can see the little pinpricks of lights. About like I said, about 15 minutes away.
What's going on? What's
And
got you spooked?
he like scrambles a little bit more, and he starts, scrambling in that general direction, or in that general direction.
Hey, C2, where are you going? And I take off after him.
Okay.
Because
So
I know if I don't, I'm going to get a whole hell of a lot of grief for it.
So Sally Sue, you see C2 run over to, and again, the group is, a little bit ahead of where all this is going on. Run over to Sam, bump into him, and then start heading back down the road. The Sam kind of like scramble after him. All here in the radio. C2, where are you going? Sally Sue, now that you stopped, only because of the way your helmet, your headset, and everything is set up, you're didn't really pay attention to it before, but you were in Sally Sue land. But you hear the sound of a rifle or pistol shot.
Oh,
At that,
I asked on the radio if anyone else heard that.
I'm still chasing after C2.
nobody really did. The helmets preclude any additional sound from penetrating.
Direction that C2 ran in.
More than likely, yes.
I let everyone know that I heard gunshots in the direction we just came.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I'm going to turn around and start heading that direction too.
Anybody tell Snake or
You didn't listen on the radio?
I don't know.
I'm usually not listening on the radio.
Yeah, he can keep walking then.
I will smack Snake in the back of the head as I run by him.
What is this all about?
And I just say C2.
Who was with Sam?
And C2 and Sam are now headed back to the food merchant.
Okay. And
And we are going. Sally Sue heard a gunshot.
That is a dramatic lack of care for your son.
oh, a gunshot.
Yep, we're going to go check it out. So come on, dumbass.
All right.
As I said, a dramatic lack of care for his son. Terrible parenting.
Lack of concern for his Sam, too.
Yeah, I can handle myself. But C2? C2's a fragile child. He's too innocent for this world. And now I'm remembering the time we found C2 in bed smoking a cigar with two ladies of the night on either side of him. Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah. I don't know who's more corrupt for who than who is. So, you're scrambling. You head back into there. Sam, so you heard over the radio. You're able to disconnect the face mask so you can at least hear some of the stuff that's going on. You don't hear the sounds of any gunfire, any more gunfire. You're approaching to within, maybe medium to long, we'll say long range, to where it is, and it's getting dark. So night vision would be,
My rifle has
optimal
night
at
vision
this.
on it, so yeah.
Right, but you have the face mask off, so you're not able to look through that, so you can hear.
Got it.
You can switch over at any point in time, but I'll describe what's going on. You're the closest at this point in time. And you can relay back, Did you find a kid? How the fuck did you lose the kid? It's not my... Look, just find the fucking kid. Oh my God. Do I have to do everything around here? The boss is going to be pissed. Just find a kid. Oh, I'll find a kid, all right. Oh, when I find a kid. Like you hear another voice say. Look, the kid's over there. Guy points. You see a shadow. Again, you see a shadow too, small, crouched in the corner.
You said I'm at long range?
You're at long range. Yeah, these guys aren't exactly being quiet. So, you see the one shadow shape, or sorry, gray shape, approaches, and you hear a crack. What the ow, motherfucker hit me with something. And you can distinctly hear the sound of flesh meeting flesh at that point in time too. That's right. I'll give you something to cry about. Oh boy, will I give you something to cry about.
At this point, I've pulled out my rifle and I'm looking down the scope at what's going on.
What range are we at?
For everyone, they're at the given the fact that you guys got a free move, we'll say everybody. Well, extra action, I should say. You guys are at medium. You're just closing into medium. Because you've been hustling. Sally Sue, at this point in time, you have a choice of either, the group is outstripping you because you're moving with the pack Brahmin. So you can either leave the pack to wander in your general direction and stay with the group, or you can hang back with the pack Brahmin, in which case you're a silent observer at this point.
I'll hang back with the Brahmin.
Okay. So you slow your pace. Your leg is feeling better, but still, you're babying a little. So, damn, you bring the rifle up, take a shot.
Yep. Can I say that I'm aiming to disable rather than kill?
Yes. But you're going to, depending on what you roll, a disable may be a kill anyway.
God. Oh.
Do you wish
Who does he kill?
Both rolling like that.
Who does he disable?
Okay, so everyone hears the peal of thunder. Sam's shooting at something. Do you wish to take a second shot?
Go
to question action point.
What that complication is?
Complication, yes. Unfortunately, you're at a -2 now for combat dice.
Oh, freaking hell. And I'm never going to get to repair this because Snake keeps breaking things. Yeah, I'm going to take a second shot.
Okay, same guy or the other guy?
The other guy.
Okay. 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 Okay, so the guy who was foul mouth, you hit the first guy, blow through his leg. You can see even with your night vision scope, the colorful spray that comes off from the round striking a knee, blowing through it. Goes to one knee, touching it, rocking back and forth. The second guy, you blow through the arm. You blow the arm off into the rib cage, out the rib cage. Watch that guy just drop like a wet sack of potatoes.
Potatoes.
His blows a flesh wound, yes. The one's down. You could just just watch him clutches and shattered leg. In the distance towards the store, you can hear the door slam open. For fuck's sake, what the hell is going on out here?
I've shouldered my rifle and I'm headed towards what I'm assuming is Steph and two assailants. Or well, one assailant.
Yes. Yep. Miss Gray, what are you
Yeah.
doing? You are at medium range. You saw the flash of the rifle going off.
Yeah.
You know approximately where he is. You can see Sam moving in the general direction of probably somebody he shot. You can definitely see somebody silhouetted in the door frame of the store.
So I would like to get up to the house. I don't know. I assume we're coming from this direction.
Yeah, you guys are coming from down there, so.
So I would like to get up to like this side of the house. Can I make it to there?
You can. It'll cost you all 3 of your moves. So if you wish to take a shot, you can. It will be with you will have to spend an action point to do it.
So I would like to. So the guy is standing here on the front porch, correct?
Yes, and I'll grab somebody to put there.
I would like to pick up a rock or something and throw it towards the far side of the house so the guy looks that direction.
Okay.
My plan is to get him to wander over there, sneak up behind him, shoot him in the back of the head. But that'll definitely have to wait for next round.
Okay.
I've got my assassin pistol drawn.
Okay.
I drew it while I was running. Because I can, because I'm gray.
Yes, you can. Yeah, Saval, you again, you saw the gunfire from Sam, the muzzle flash. You can see he's stalking off to one side, and you Miss Gray scurry to the side of the building and taking cover there. You are at medium range. What do you wish? There. Snake, what are you doing?
I'm going straight after this guy, and I've drawn my axe instead of Chunky Boy.
Okay.
How,
You'll be.
How far
well,
can I get?
Same deal. You'll be able to get to as far as. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to make you.
Ooh, that's scary.
Elongate you.
Whoa. Okay.
But you managed to get to there. You see, so Gray's getting ready to pick up a rock, and you just watch Snake just hustling down towards that way. So the guy kind of turns and then looks at you.
Stupid idiot.
And I say, "Hey, asshole!"
And you can see he's got a sawed-off shotgun in his hand. He raises it in your general direction. He's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Can I answer him?
Oh,
Fire
I'm-
with Chunky Boy and burn down the whole building.
I'm your worst nightmare.
Burn down the whole building with Chunky Boy now.
Jesus Christ.
His Snake does not understand fire spread.
No, I have the axe, not Chunky Boy.
He's got the accent.
Oh,
He said.
awesome. It's just lately you've been Chunky Boy, burn everything to the ground.
There we go.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to burn that. Oh well.
Well, we're in an open space, so I'm going with the axe.
You're in an open space. You're going with the axe.
Yeah.
Don't ask him questions, Sam.
Yeah.
Okay,
Stop bringing
fine.
logic to this conversation, Sam. Just
Yeah.
let it go. Let it go. Just nod, smile, and step away slowly. If you back away, not
He
too
might
fast.
spontaneously combust, Sam.
He
I'm
may not
heading
recognize
towards- I'm heading towards Steph and whoever their assailant was.
Okay. He raises the shotgun and fires it at you. Snake.
Ooh.
Got it's just if he hits something, it wasn't you. So and he's scrambling to reload the weapon. So, not doing a very good job of that. So, since we're going slightly out of order, Sam, you make it over to the one guy. He's blubbering like a child, rocking back and forth, holding his knee. He shot me in the it hurts.
I put a tourniquet on it. I start trying to put a tourniquet on it.
Like
not
around
really
his neck?
caring- No, around his leg. I'm
Okay.
not really caring too much for his comfort. I want answers more than anything.
Okay.
I just want him to live long enough to give those answers.
You can see Steph is laying there. The Brognac axe that they were so proud of, that they were showing off to everybody, is snapped at
Aw.
at the handle, snapped in half.
Oh boy. What was I said earlier about another child's innocence slowly gone? Yeah, no, definitely gone now.
You so you start tying off the guys, making it so he doesn't bleed out. Let's just put it that way. Miss
Exactly.
Gray, right now you can see the guy is looking in your general direction. The rock attempt not going to work. He is
right.
fumbling to reload the double-barreled shotgun that he has.
Yeah.
Of course the rock didn't work.
Right. The fine art of distraction is useless when you've got Snake charging
Snake
in.
is the distraction.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, true, but he's the wrong distraction. Okay. Can I get up next to this guy while he's looking at his gun, fumbling to reload because he's scared because there's this giant wall running towards him with an axe.
Okay, you have this giant death knight, but it's dark. The only person that can really see is Snake and Sam.
Yeah. So how close can I get to him?
You can literally get to there.
Okay. Yeah. So while he's distracted reloading his gun, I'm gonna walk up and shoot him in the head.
Okay.
Point blank. Well, I'm kind of mad at Snake for running in, so I'm gonna take it out on this guy.
When are we not angry with Snake?
I know, but I want to reroll those three.
Okay. So you step up and danger close, like the flash the gas from the pistol. What little does escape. You actually can see a smoking ring appear on the side of his head. You, almost comically, you watch the Flavor's eyes bulge in his face. And you just, he drops the shotgun, brings it up to his head, and attempts to make a scream, but it's silent, and he just falls to the ground, blood running out of his ears and nose and eyes, and
All the orifices.
the smoking hole in his head.
Yep. Yeah. Then I'm gonna head inside, look for the kid.
So, you look, and standing in the doorway is another person who has the look of absolute terror on their face. after just witnessing that.
Um,
That person's also holding a sawed-off shotgun in one hand. They got a jagged piece of metal. We'll call it a knife. In their in their opposite, and they're just staring at you. Laval, so you see Gray walk around. You can hear her over the radio just muttering to herself something about fucking men, and what do you choose to do? The area that you are at has a single window that you can look through. You can see the mother laying on the ground. You can see an individual stand in the doorway, but you don't have a clear shot at them. You can just make out the shadow. You don't see anything. Okay, well, Sam doesn't know his kitchen cutlery. Poor Sam. Yeah, all that genius and doesn't know the difference.
I was testing you to make sure you knew the difference between a knife and a spoon. Now you can play knife and spooning with me.
Knife, spoon, hand grenade.
Is that a sex
Exactly.
game? Sounds like a sex game.
You can climb in the window. You just have to be careful what you grab a hold of, because of all the the broken glass that's kind of been feathered across the top and held into place. Okay, so you step inside. Still don't have a clear shot at the guy by the door, because of the baffles were set up to kind of keep allow the doors to be open and keep any wind out. But looking around, you can see that the mother is breathing, and you other action to close with her. Okay, so getting over to her, she has a blow to the. Looks like there's black and blue welt on her face. Looks like she got slugged. Don't see anything else, and just taking a moment just to listen. Don't hear anything else beside the the body's hitting the floor by the door. So Snake, over to you. Sally Sue, you're just moseying on up. You're just taking your time.
I'm whistling.
Yeah.
And skipping.
Yep.
You're not coming through.
Oh, I'm running over here to the door.
Yep. You see the one guy standing there. He's trying to bring the shotgun up at Miss Gray. Then he just kind of, again, black mass coming out of the darkness. Did you light the axe, or you're? I don't remember if you said.
Oh
it
yeah,
so.
I'm gonna light it. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, definitely, Death Knight, Demon Knight, coming out of Boogeyman coming out of the thing as you bring the axe down upon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yep.
Okay.
Well, and the armor, you just cleave through that.
Yeah, 11 damage and 9 piercing.
A location.
To his left arm.
Okay, so the dagger, the knife that he is holding in his hand, drops away. You can see it's a clean cut. The only thing meaning that he's still alive is because of the fact that you cauterized the wound from the blade. But you can see like the road leathers and everything on his arm is kind of like smoldering, a little bit of flame licking up here and there. He attempts to bring the shotgun up towards you. Fires both barrels at your general direction.
Okay.
It's 8 points of damage. Doesn't get it too far. Shoots you in the leg.
Doesn't do any damage.
So he and again, Baba Yaga. He just sees the shotgun blast illuminate the leg. The blast hit, strike, and doesn't even phase you. And if you wish, make a second attack.
Yeah, I will.
It costs you an action point, so you don't have that. I cut you off from doing that before, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going at him again for another 9
points.
damage and 3 piercing.
Location.
To his right leg.
Okay. So if you sweep the leg, the blade cuts through. Shotgun falls from his hand. He slams head first, face first into the door frame, and he's just sitting there twitching. He's just watching the body twitch. He is barely alive, but his again, you cauterize the wound when you took it off, but still the shock of losing an arm and a leg, is a little too much for him to bear. There you go. See. We'll go back to normal initiative following. So Sam, I'll be with you in a minute. Miss Gray. So your assailant is dead. The other guy is barely alive.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna step over the guy that Snake just dismembered. I'll let Snake play with his food.
Okay.
I'm gonna head in the house. I'm specifically looking for the kid.
no sign of the kid, but you can search the entire place.
Yep.
You see 2 freshly dug bullet wounds in the back door, and you can see Saval tending to the mother.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking for the kid. We gotta find him.
So, Sam, you approach over. You've taken care of bandaging the wound. Rolling Steph over. Kid's alive, breathing. You may have figured it out, but you realize that Steph's a girl.
Yeah. The confusion with the pronouns kind of threw me for a moment, but yes.
The axe is maybe repairable if you work some of your magic.
I think that can be arranged.
But she's laying there. She's just breathing. She's just the slap kind of took it out of her.
Yeah. Well, our friend with the knee wound isn't going anywhere, so I guess I'll take up Steph and bring them towards the store.
Okay. So you sling Hecate. You pick up you cradle Steph in your arm and lay the broken axe onto her, carrying her back in. Ellie, so you arrive. You see Snake standing over somebody, wreathed in flame. You see the dead body laying on the ground. E2 kind of hops down, goes over, kind of sniffs the body. Runs over, grabs a leg, and runs off.
Typical.
And you literally hear him go, and then you watch him scamper away with the somewhat charred leg in its mouth.
I wave.
Very typical.
The mother's coming around. Doesn't appear to be other than the knock to the noggin and the face. That's about it. Okay. And Snake. So, what do you do with the man laying there in front of you?
I pick him up and throw him against the wall and say, "What are you doing here?" You all hear me?
Hello.
He spits.
I
In your,
heard-
he
Oh,
spits in
I
your
heard you,
face.
Snake.
Oh, all right. Well, I cut his head off then.
Oh shit. Okay.
Thought we were going to question these people. Jesus
Um,
Christ.
well, it's a lesson for anybody else.
Who else? None of his friends witnessed it. They're all dead, or in the case of the guy missing his knee, laying out in the field.
Now we don't know who. Ask him who his friends are, so we can't go take them out.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that at the moment.
You're not worried about anything ever.
It all
We have
takes.
to remind you to be
all,
worried about
it
you
all.
too.
It all takes care of itself in the end. So
Yeah,
they
we
all
have to
float
remind-
down here.
We have to remind you to be aware to take care of C2.
All these rules: hurt people, don't hurt people. I can't keep track of it.
You're supposed to give them a little tickle when they're defiant.
what, with the
You're
flat
not
of the
supposed to
blade?
just chop off their heads.
He did. He gives the guy a really close shave.
I'll look over at Sam and say, "Look, there's still a hand. Do you want it?"
This is all out of character. I mean, technically, this is all out of character because I'm not even in the room.
Yeah. If you
But I
see Sam-
saved you a hand.
I saved you a hand. You could just you all hear again this conversation going on the radio. You buried
okay, yeah, that
you
makes
buried
sense.
you buried the axe into the guy's skull. He body twitches uncontrollably for a moment or two, and then collapses to the ground, or
Oh.
collapses inward.
Saval, you better save the mom, because Snake chopped that guy in half. There will be no interrogating him.
I mean, we do have one prisoner.
Oh, I thought there were only two people. On the...
No, there's a guy out back who don't
Oh.
remember. I shut out his knee,
Oh.
and then I put a tourniquet on it, so he'll be
Oh, okay.
okay.
Keep Snake away from him.
Yeah, no, Snake's not allowed to interrogate prisoners anymore.
He didn't know anything.
Really?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. Yep. He didn't know what was going on. Yeah.
Snake didn't know anything, or the guy didn't know anything? Is my question.
Yep. So you get to the back door, Sam. You guys all hear like a banging at the back door. Anybody gonna go check?
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm at the
I'll-
back door. Can somebody
check,
open
but
the
I'm-
door?
I'm
my
going
hands
to
are
open the
full.
door with my assassin pistol right at head height.
Nice of
'Cause I don't know who it is.
It could be somebody who sounds like Sam.
What's your safe word?
Pineapple.
Okay. I lower my pistol.
Oh boy. At work, it's papaya.
You can see Sam step in. He's carrying Steph, the broken axe laying on her resting form.
I left a living prisoner out in the field out there. Got a tourniquet on. I was like, might want to go get him.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out to the field to find this guy that Sam was just describing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Steph to wherever their room is.
You find the bedroom that you can take her into.
Yeah,
Lay her down.
I lay her down on the bed. I'm assuming she's not gripping onto the assuming they're not gripping onto the axe. I'm gonna take it and see what I can do about repairing it.
No, it's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
so Sally Sue, you step over one dead body, look at Snake at the other dead body. Step in, you can see Saval kind of hands the mother off to you, and then heads back to wherever Sam is right now to go take a look at Steph.
Okay.
Um, so other than Steph took, other than definitely a blow to the head that Steph took, she appears to be okay. Takes a moment or so, smelling salts, that type of deal, and she stands up, or sorry, wakes up and she says, "Where's Mama? Mom, is Mom okay? Is everything, Mom?" That's good. Um, oh no, where's the hat? Where did I drop it? Okay. Okay. Miss Gray, it takes you a moment or so to find the gentleman that Sam said he left behind. Like what? So while Miss Gray's looking for and all this is going on, what are you doing, or what would you like to do?
Well, now I'm confused because folks are grumpy that I'm hurting folks. So I'm just gonna stand around for a little bit,
Okay.
see what else happens.
Okay. You want to go check on Steph?
Sure.
You don't have to.
My
Like nobody's going to
God.
twist your arm and beat you with wooden spoon if you don't go do it. That's so okay. So Miss Gray, so you find a mewling male leg, not bleeding. Probably not going to be able to keep it either. Leaning up against a broken sectional wall. Tries to scrabble back, is unable to do so because not exactly moving.
Yeah, so I'd like to interrogate this guy. I'd like to know who they are, why they're here, who sent them. Yeah, and I'm not against torturing him to get info if I have to.
Go for the remaining leg first. Then start with the
Um,
fingers.
I was really just gonna sort of take my tire iron and dig it into his existing wound.
Yeah, well, that works too.
Because I am a lady.
Yeah. See. So you do exactly that. They're there to get food, because they ran out. Just needed to eat. You realize that this is the surviving members of the slaver group that you hit on the way down towards Oakallville. When you had freed the people there, one thing that you had learned was that a small group had not returned. They were out trying to collect a runaway, and that was the leader. Oh, not the leader. The second in command of the group.
But why did they come in here shooting and attacking
They're slavers.
the owner of this business?
They're slavers or raiders.
Yeah, but she does nothing but helps people.
They're slavers
Why would-
and raiders.
That doesn't mean you have to come in and.
He's a bit apologetic at that point in time. He's like, the kid spooked, and again, know what this guy was saying. The kid spooked the boss, took a shot, not knowing who was there. Things kind of just got out of hand.
Yeah, that's still unacceptable. So they are the survivors of the group that we have with us, the women and men.
No,
No.
they're survivors of this. So they are the when you dealt with the raider camp in here. Let's switch maps real quick.
There's so many
Well,
camps we've
it
been
was
to.
so long ago.
Oh, are
it was
these the
when we
people we
fir-
took back to the farm?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
It was when we first went to Colville. We rescued a group of refugees.
okay.
These are the survivors of that slave group.
Yeah.
So
We rescue so many people, it's hard to keep track
I
of all
know.
of them. Um,
So the abandoned camp right here on the map that I'm pulsing when you're heading down towards Oakallville.
yeah.
Yep, that one there. So that's that was the group that you when you defeated them, you had learned that not everybody had returned here. Not everybody returned back from when you dealt with them, and so you've kind of laid that particular group to rest.
And watch how they trouble the wasteland.
Yep, still unacceptable.
So that map, but it's in a new folder. Hang tight, folks.
Hanging in progress.
There we go. Okay. So, and yeah, that's all he's got to say.
I don't think I'm gonna kill him, but I am mad at him.
Yeah, we could always string him up. We could always string him up outside the store as a warning to whoever else comes around. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let Steph decide
What are you, Machi
how
Man
she
Render
wants
Savage
to
over
handle
there?
them.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's reasonable.
Her place of business.
True. And the easiest way to get rid of them would probably be to give them to the rad roaches.
Yep.
Yep.
So you make him hobble. You make him hobble back to the door. Mom eventually, gets away from Sally Sue, and she's like, "No, I don't want to see your pencils anymore," and goes coming in to see Steph. Mother and
But
daughter
they're nice
hug.
and sharp.
Have I managed to repair the X or figure out how to repair it?
You have and replace the half of the X. With a metal pipe, or you can replace the X altogether with a real X. It won't be as good as Grognak's X, but it would be a double-headed X.
I am
size.
very tempted to do that, but that's also very dangerous and very irresponsible. I feel
Always
like.
ask, Snake, how well he thinks she is.
Snake, do you think she could handle a real axe?
This,
Yes.
yeah.
Snake's the one who saw her practicing.
Yeah.
Yep. Do it.
Okay. This is... Okay. Yeah, if this goes wrong, we're blaming you.
Okay. Yep. You start working, gathering stuff off of Good and Plenty to actually, put the axe together. Couple screws, couple bolts to make sure stuff doesn't kind of like pop apart. The axe head go flying off and embed itself in Mom's head or something like that.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, that'd be bad. So you're working on that. Miss Gray, you come back in with the Do you bring him inside or do you leave him outside?
I'm gonna leave him outside.
Okay.
But when the mom's feeling well enough, I
want to wave
will.
at him.
I will fill her in and ask her what she wants us to do with him.
Bring him inside so that way we can watch him. And make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Okay. Bring him inside, but I don't want him near the kid.
Okay.
No, he gets
You
to
guys
sit
are
the
like in
corner.
a kitchen area where she prepares, food and everything. You can see
We can tie him up in the corner.
Sam's kind of got stuff laid out on one of the countertops, and he's putting them together. Looks like he's making an axe, like a real axe, like a kid-sized real axe.
You're trying to
so-
emphasize that I'm trying to give a kid something sharp and potentially dangerous, aren't you?
Well, we have let Snake have something sharp and dangerous, so
Yes, but that's Snake.
So you begin to, you leave Steph in the kids, in Saval's hands, and you kind of bring the mom out into the kitchen. She kind of looks at the guy and looks over at Sam.
Before all this happens, can I wave at
looks
the,
back at the guy.
Before all this happens, can I wave at the guy and ask him how his leg is?
It hurts. And
Good.
he looks at you and says, "Well, why did you bring me to see him?"
So I'll tell her who he is. This is the guy that attacked you and your child. I talked to him. They are looking for food, but, ultimately I wanted her to see him and ask her what she wants us to do with him.
Stops. She looks at the guy. Who hurt my daughter? The guy kind of mumbles something unintelligible. And you can all hear this. She gets over and she's, "Did you hurt my daughter?" And he kind of looks at her and you can see, "Yes." She just turns and looks at you. Gray, that is.
Oh.
I'm not a killer. He shouldn't be here anymore.
You're just a slaving piece of shit. I say from where I'm standing.
So I tell her that we'll take care of him, and I'll pick him up off the floor. We'll walk back outside, and I guess we'll feed him to the cockroaches.
Oh shit! Okay. A little damnation alley going on here.
Well, she's
No, I'm okay.
She's not a killer, but
the line from The Expanse is, you're not that person. Amos talking to one of the guys. Guy goes off and literally he just got his daughter back from the side. Got the guy and his daughter walks away. Amos turns back to the crazy scientist. They talk a little bit. Crazy scientist, but I am. Green cuts over, and all you see is a sort of red on the airlock door. And yeah, so okay, so you find the slot that is big enough to dump stuff into. Yeah. Into the Radbruch pen. Slide it open. She's struggling. Sam tied him up very, very well. Sorry, Sam, you won't get your bondage gear back.
Yeah.
There's the return investment is lost, and yeah, with a little bit of work, you get him dumped into the rad roach pen. Very painful and not very quick.
Well, I shot him first with my assassin pistol.
Oh,
My
I'm
silence
sorry.
Why did you
weapon.
off him?
Huh?
He was a slaving piece of scum.
I know, but she was obviously. She wanted him dead, but she said, I'm not a killer.
Okay, fine.
But I am, so
Okay.
she's still not a killer. I have not undone what she said.
Right, and we've never seen Gray torture anybody, so
Right.
Not even slaving pieces of shit.
I mean, I did feed him to the cockroaches. What do you want from me?
Feed him to the cockroaches alive.
No. I'll shoot him first. He was just coming to look for food.
back to the earth. Yeah, exactly. Back to the earth he goes.
From dust we came, from dust we shall go. Or to dust we shall go.
The mother and daughter are reunited. Offers another 2 days worth of food for all of you. Telling you to collect the cans off the shelves over there. She points to stuff in the back room. And she says, "Yeah, please. And when you come back this way, like I said, I'll make sure I have more food for you too. Thank you." While you guys are collecting the food, Sam, you come back
That
in.
make me blush.
And she gives a hug to each and every one of you. So you have the axe there. You managed to salvage some of the strapping and the we'll call them tassels, but kind of like coming off of the axe head itself, reminiscent of the chains and stuff that they all on one issue. You kind of show her, and kind of looks, and she like with resignation in her appearance, she nods at you.
I take the axe and take it to Steph.
Everyone hears the big, squeal of glee. Gives you a big hug. Steps out. With still with that childlike innocence, she looks at you, Sniper, and said, "See, now I can kill assholes. Now I can kill assholes too."
Language.
Sam regrets every single decision that led him to this point.
And then with that same innocence, she looks back at you and it's like, "Can you make it flaming?" You hear her mother say, "No." Yep.
One step at a time, child.
No.
I've suddenly
You will not have a flaming axe in this house, young lady.
I've suddenly found the rafters of this building very, very interesting.
She finds a spot in the back where you guys can bunk down here. Head back out in the day once the sun comes up.
Yeah. Once more, what are the chances that we go through all this time, travel, do so much stuff, and we finally find a group of slavers that we nearly eradicated way back when? Almost as if the universe was saying, we need to kill these guys.
Hey, you missed it the first time. Here's a gimme.
Yes. A few less pieces of flavor scum in the world.
You head out. It's the next day. And you begin heading.
Just real quick, so we got, what, a total of 6 days of food
Yes.
from there?
And 6 days of food. Looting. Oh well, hey, let's do some looting, folks.
Oh, yeah.
There are 2 sawed-off shotguns. Both are being held by bubblegum and baling wire at this point in time, but there are 2 sawed-off shotguns. There are a 2 knives that you come across. Actually, sorry, 4 knives that you come across. Damn, do me a favor, roll me 12 combat dice.
Ooh, am I about to get some shells? How many?
12.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Now, you find yes, you do find ammunition. But unfortunately, they're not shotgun shells.
Why would they? Why would they have shotguns but not have shotgun shells?
Well, they did have shotgun shells. They used the shotgun shells.
Then what are they?
Are a mixture of 308 rounds and 9mm rounds.
9mm is interchangeable with 38. Did we decide?
It is
Okay.
with the 9mm that Laval has.
Got it.
So
How much 308 then?
So you find 24. Wrong page, sorry. 24 jacketed hollow point rounds.
308 or 9mm?
9mm.
So 30. Wait, no, how many?
24.
24. Jacketed point 9mm. Okay.
What that means is the weapon loses any piercing trait it may have, but it gains debilitating, and the combat dice goes up by 1 against targets wearing no armor, including creatures. So human armor, leather armor, armor. The bonus doesn't hit, but anything else that you shoot at, gain an extra combat die.
Okay, so as debilitating and +1 CD. Okay.
Versus non-armor.
Right. Right. Okay.
And then you find 24 jacketed soft point rounds in 308.
Jacketed soft point in 308.
Similar to Miss Gray's Gung Fu.
Wait. Jacketed soft 308. Okay, what does it do?
When you roll your damage, you can re-roll two blanks.
And there were 24 of those?
24 of those, yes.
Okay, those are nice.
And
I'll divide them up between myself and Saval since we're the only two who use 308s.
that's really all you find. It seems. I mean, they had no armor. The armor that they had was either crap raider / leathers, which really wasn't in much good of shape. No caps, no food. Clothes were soiled, so even that wasn't anything to strip off.
Just about the only thing that they made was good roach food.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you figure you can drag the other two bodies out as you're looting them and toss them in there too.
Yeah.
Whenever one fell, just leave it to go. Something will collect it at that point.
Okay. You can have it. I don't think I have anything that can use it.
Nope.
Nope.
Keep going to hit Control C to copy things, and I end up hitting one of the programmable buttons on my keyboard.
Whoops.
Yep.
Now I have 16 smiley faces.
Yeah.
I'm building the map at the same time, talking to you guys. Where we are to get to. So, next day, you guys are up and about. Got your food stuff's all loaded onto the wagon, or onto actually you do have a wagon, so yes. I was far off when I said that. You have your food stuff's loaded onto the wagon, and head out. Traveling farther west. Everybody kind of, Steph gives you a big hug stick. She thanks you. Sam, she thanks you. Especially, grateful for the comic and everything like that. And everybody kind of goes their separate ways.
I wave goodbye.
Travel's easy. And you're on the road. You're able to keep going straight. And you don't have much of problems. You don't see anything. There's nothing untoward and anything bad out there. Past wreckage of some cars here and there. Remnants of farmhouses, barns, and such in the distance. And find yourself coming into an area of green. Ground is clean. So nothing odd, nothing sinister about it as compared to some of the other areas that you passed into. And again, everything seems to be, nature seemed to be taking over, building back up, bringing stuff back in. and find yourself. You can see it, hills and everything like that in the distance. Town off, to your north somewhat. That may be what they described. Yes, here's the question. It is 3 days travel to get to where you are, and the group to decide this. Are you utilizing the food you got from the butcher, or are you utilizing the 6 days extra? Or sorry,
Which is more perishable?
Yeah, we would go with the stuff we got from her was all in cans, so I imagine it's got a longer shelf life.
yes. And I'm going to write this down. Sam, how many days are we talking about? I said 6. Taken or
6
is it
days of
6?
canned food?
Yes.
We have 6 days of canned food. That's
6
why I
days of
have
canned
on
food.
mine. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah,
Days
I
canned
still have no clue what supplies we have. Otherwise,
Okay, so we'll rattle. So, okay, so somebody roll me, and I'll let you guys decide.
I
Somebody
know
roll me
it's 9
3
days worth.
6-siders.
I have no clue what it is.
Okay.
All I know
We'll
is that
go.
it can't be radiation.
Sally Sue. Okay, so we got a pair of 6s. So if you guys had any damage, you would have been fully healed. It would have fully healed everything but the radiation. And would have give you a reroll. Okay, so what you guys have left right now, you have 1 day of food that gives you a damage reduction of +2. You have 2 days of one that gives you 3 temporary hit points. You have 5 days of the food that reduces the AP actions by 1. You have 3 days of the one that allows you to re-roll a single roll, and you have 1 day left of the one that completely heals you of everything.
So that's 12 days by my counts.
Yes. And you have
Hooray!
six, and then you have 6 days of canned food. So canned food 6. I've
Got it.
jotted that down.
And now it actually. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to bring it to a close at that point. Good night. You do see the town, what you assume is Vedi, in the distance. You can see that there are some.
There's someone in the distance.
I have to go along and I have to
Phoenix.
update the maps for you guys. There are hills that you are passing. The ground is in some places the road looks like it was kind of restrung out like taffy, scrunched together, pulled back out, scrunched together, and pulled back out again. It is the know from previous experience usually like ground tremors of some sort occurred within the area. And see, and this would be
Okay.
there we go. Okay, so you can see the town of Vedi in the distance. You can see fields naturally growing grains of some sort also in the distance. Or you don't see anybody bending it, but that's not to say there isn't anybody there to do that. Now I'll update the rest of the map, and then we'll figure out. So when we get together next, We'll figure out what is going on in this area. Have you arrived at the annex? Different spot than from what the
That is the question.
said. Fix the map accordingly. Sorry, scale is going to be slightly off with because I stretched out the spot where things were supposed. There we go. Okay, so give me a minute. I will update the macro map. Provide you with a of everything. Sorry about that, folks. I do apologize to our listening audience. So, nicely done dealing with the slavers, and yeah, I was using this particular location, not necessarily here. It could have been placed anywhere to round that out. Kudos to Steak for his interaction with the Beth.
Yep.
I wasn't sure how that was going to play out. Wasn't sure if he was going to steal the comic books or not.
That didn't come through.
Oh no, not steal the comic books. I wouldn't steal the comic books.
There are days where we don't quite know what you're going to do.
Snake is such a simple person, but he's so misunderstood.
Snake is such a simple person, and because of that, we have like 3 or 4 different things that you will always do no matter what. It's always going to be one of those things. It's either going to be steal, kill, something unexpected, or
or steal,
Yeah.
steal, screw and kill.
or just stand there and look stupid. Yeah. He won't be able to read it anyways.
Kill, steal, screw. Stare.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get the line going out. I'll have the map updated for when we moment. So
This broadcast of As the Wasteland Burns was brought to you by Galaxy News Radio and our sponsors at Vault Tech. Better living underground.
Now with butt plugs.